There are those who get very anxious/defensive at the mere mention of the fact that God divine higher has to be praised. They say praise is unnecessary, and life can be lived without it, when the truth is that, even in their own life, they are always praising either others like themselves, their own self, or those lower than themselves. Majority of this world has no problems encouraging those that don't threaten their own ego. In simpler words, what they know to be nothing really beyond them. It's only when it comes to praising the real higher divine that questions are raised, and feelings like jealousy enter the fray. In their foolish ignorance, they say, why would higher need the praise? Well, it doesn't. It is they who need to do the praise, to raise themselves out of the blissless hell they have put themselves in through not doing it. So PT is so overwhelmingly insightful. So I've never tried to give anyone their event horizon. I won't even friend request someone on Facebook unless they've independently found PT, because the chances of them having the right attitude are very slim, and if that's the case, it's slightly better for them to not have found PT, even though there are no excuses for that either. The American mind programming is very much like, you can do it, you can do it. And one thing I love about the UK is that no one has that attitude here. No one thinks that they can do it. So it just feels a lot more sane in that way also. And like, I do understand, like if someone, if they had like some relative that wasn't crushing their dreams at every opportunity, if there was somebody that they could relate to, if they had like a community of some sorts, relationships that weren't basically domestic terrorism, if something went right for them somewhere, like, if they didn't feel like they were living in Absurdistan, just around complete fucking morons who can't communicate in any way, and then worst of all, if they have a platform of some kind, nearly any kind, I mean, it's game over. So, like, people are supposed to be jealous of those that have it easier than them. I actually feel so bad for those people who have it easier temporarily, because, like, if there's any room for any ego to flourish, it probably will. And it's just not advantageous long term. Like actually, like in actual reality, there's no option but to praise higher beings. Yes, some people have a lot more of a cushion from that reality than others, and it's not a great thing. And I love that the point that PT made, that the higher being doesn't need the praise. It's the people doing it who need to do it. And I think that's a very good point. Like, most of the things that people say, like, they damage the person saying it, and not necessarily, or most likely not at all, the people hearing it. So, like, the less you like someone, the more you want them to speak, basically. Like, the more hells they're going to create for themselves, the more they're going to lower their state. And if you do want the best for someone even a little bit, then, you do want them to be more cautious